let's build some automations. So recently I accidentally, and not so accidentally, kind of nuked my smart home. See, I thought I had a solution that was gonna make it kind of like an all-in-one, everything all on a home server. All of the integration that I had through Home Assistant into Apple Home was all gone. Along with that was my automations and stuff like that. So today I'm just going to be setting up some of the basic automations that I need for my home to truly be automated and to kind of take care of itself. So some of this will be in Apple Home, some will be in Home Assistant, and we'll even use a third-party app called Home Plus to get some of these set up. And I'm just gonna go pretty fast through them. I just wanna get them set up, but I thought, you know what, I'm already going on this journey, may as well bring you along. So let's go ahead. If you look right here, you can see on the left I have a list of automations I need to create. And so this first one, foyer motion, I can do this in the Apple Home app, and all that is basically when there's motion in the foyer, it's turning my foyer lights on. So we're gonna go to automations, and I'm gonna go to add automation. We're gonna go to a sensor detect something. We're gonna find our foyer motion sensor. Now, there's gonna be a couple different automations here. We got the regular motion sensor, detects motion, and I'm looking for my foyer lights. Now what this is it's two different light switches paired into a group in Apple Home, so it's just foyer lights right here. Turn on. Motion detected in foyer, turn on, and we'll turn that off after 2 minutes. And that's it for that one. Now, I actually want to take that a step further and create a second automation for the foyer stairs motion. So a sensor detects something, we're gonna find that foyer again. And we're gonna look for a stairs motion sensor, and it's just gonna do the same thing. Detects motion. Foyer lights, turn on, turn off after 2 minutes. Now I'll be the first to tell you this is not a perfect automation as it pertains to completely controlling, and if there's, you know, still someone in the foyer, those lights are still going to turn off, but 99% of the time we're just walking straight through, so it's not that big of a deal. So it works, it does the job. All right, so let's check that one off and have a coffee break. All right. Desk presence lights. Now this is a automation that when I enter the zone in my office using the Aqara FP2 in here, I want my desk strip lights to turn on, and I want this key light to turn to 5% just for a little overhead light right there. So let's go create automation. We can do this in the Apple Home app, and we're gonna say a sensor detects something. This time we're gonna find the studio. And we're gonna look for desk, and that is the Aqara FP2 presence sensor. That's the area that I've defined in the Aqara app. Desk detects occupancy, and we want studio Elgato key light air. Obviously it's at 51% because I'm using it to film right now. We want that to go to 5%, and I like that warm white. And we don't want it to turn off in this automation, so we're gonna hit done. Now we're gonna create a second automation. A sensor detects something. I actually don't usually do this for presence automations very often. I usually don't like that stuff to turn off because it isn't perfect, so sometimes it'll turn off whenever you don't want it to. But I'm gonna go to desk. I'm gonna go ahead and say stops detecting occupancy. And I could take this further, and I actually might tweak this later in the Home Plus app and just say, like, if no motion for 5 minutes or something like that. Actually, that would be a Home Assistant automation, so we'll see if I do that. But we'll go to Studio, Elgato Key Light Air, and we're gonna turn that guy off. And let me make sure. No occupancy detected in Studio. Desk, okay, cool. All right. The other thing I want that to do that I forgot to add though, if I go back in here when occupancy detected, I also want that to turn my desk strip light on. So we're gonna find desk strip right there in front of my face. And we do want that to be turned on, and we're just gonna go ahead and set that to 100%, and the warm white's fine. And now when I walk into this space, my desk strip light and my key light will turn on to a nice dim light right there. All right, we're gonna call that good. I don't want my strip light to turn off unless the rest of my lights turn off, so we might create another automation later, but all right, kitchen presence. Now this one has to be done in Home Assistant, and this one is when there's presence in the kitchen, I want the lights to turn on. So we're gonna create an automation, and I'm gonna create a new automation, add trigger. We're gonna look for entity state, and I'm gonna look for the kitchen area. So the kitchen area, you can see 3 different areas here. I actually have 4, but the kitchen area is the whole kitchen. So anywhere in the kitchen that I'm at, from clear to detected, and we will only want that to happen if I'm in there for 4 seconds. That way if I'm passing through, usually takes me a little bit longer to get through, so 4 seconds if I'm in the kitchen for more than 4 seconds. And then I'm gonna say then do, and we want to go to light, turn on, and we want, I always like to do an entity. I'm looking for the overhead, kitchen overhead switch, which I have converted to a light in here, by the way, and save. Kitchen presence, light on. Now the second part of that automation I still have set up, I already have set up because I was able to restore from a backup, and I'll show you that real quick, but the kitchen and dining room lights are no presence for 5 minutes. So when kitchen area, so that's literally the entire kitchen area that we just used, from detected to clear for 5 minutes. And if that happens, we're gonna confirm the kitchen dining area is clear. So if we're in the dining room, it won't happen. And then we're gonna confirm babysitter mode is off, which is just a virtual switch that if it's on, certain automations won't run, like this one. And then we're gonna confirm the kitchen pass-through area is clear, which is just that passway between our dining room and our kitchen cooking area. And then when I'm downstairs in the morning, I don't like for the lights to be turning off while I'm having my morning time. And so confirm the time is after 7:30 a.m. And then all it's doing is calling the opposite service turn off, and the area is the kitchen. I have all of those devices in a kitchen area. So that's the opposite of that, and that gets my kitchen presence automations complete. So actually this next one is a part of my kitchen automations, but I can do this in HomeKit, and it's very, very easy. So I'm gonna add an automation, and I'm simply gonna say a device is controlled or an accessory is controlled. And I'm gonna go to my kitchen, and I'm gonna look for overhead. It's my main kitchen lights. And I want, when those to turn off, I want my dining room lights to turn off. Otherwise, I don't have an automation that turns those off automatically. But when there's no presence in the kitchen and the kitchen overhead turns off, it's gonna turn these off. Or if I hit the switch in the overhead kitchen, if I do that, I don't want the dining room lights on, so they're gonna turn off anyway. So we want those to turn off. And that takes care of that one. So the next automation I'm gonna set up, I'm actually gonna skip over this one. I don't think I'm ready for this one quite yet. I think I have some more research to do before I reset this one. I don't remember how I did it in the first place, so I really wanna do my research and figure that one out before I do anything. But we're gonna go into the away security automations, and I'm actually gonna create these last two in the Home Plus app on my iPad. So I am gonna switch over to the iPad. So for my away security automations, what I've done is I've created a virtual switch in Home Assistant, and I've exposed that to my Apple Home through the Apple Home bridge on Home Assistant. If that's at all confusing to you, you can check out this video to see how I did that. But moving into our automations, we're gonna create a new automation here in the Home Plus app, and I'm not gonna go into depth on what this app does. I had done that in the prior video, which I'll link down below for you, but we're gonna just go ahead and add an event, and we want the presence of people, and we want the last person leaves home. And then we wanna say accessory state, and we want to turn if babysitter mode is off. Babysitter mode again is what keeps certain automations from running. So as long as this is off, this will run. And that's again just a virtual switch made in Home Assistant. And we're going to control accessories. And the first thing I want to control actually is not that, because I cannot control a security system directly from Apple Home automations. I want security system ARM. So as long as it's off, the last person leaves, we want security system ARM turned on. And that's part one. I also want all of my lights and stuff to turn off. So I have a scene called Leave Home. I want to check that, and what that does is that's going to turn off my bedroom lights, my kitchen. It's going to turn all these lights off, close the shades, turn everything off, basically shut the house down. So this automation, when the last person leaves home and babysitter mode is off, it's going to turn on security system ARM, and it's going to set leave home. Now obviously that's not going to actually set my security system, because that's just a virtual switch. So let's save that. Last person leaves, ARM. And then let's create a follow-up. We're gonna create an automation that is using the accessory state. And I'm gonna search for ARM. And I'm gonna select security system ARM. Power state changes to on, done. I'm gonna add accessory. And I can skip over the babysitter mode, because this is actually if that virtual switch turns on, it's going to turn on the Aqara M1S to away, save. So now if that virtual switch turns on, it's going to arm my security system away, which that security system or that virtual switch is going to turn on when the last person leaves. So it's like an automation to trigger an automation. So save that, arm, on, away. Very easy naming system there. Let's create the opposite now. Presence of people. First person arrives home. Accessory state. Babysitter mode. Power state is off. Add accessory. And we want to turn ARM off. Save. And then we can add a scene in here to turn on the lights. I'll just say bright. And then I don't like to combine too many actions into an automation because then it's just so much more that it has to do. I've found that it actually works better for me if I have several different automations doing different things. When I arrive home, I have 3 automations, which sounds counterintuitive, but that's what works for me. And we want to set bright. We're going to turn that off. Now we're going to save. First person arrives. disarm. Nope, we're gonna say turn arm off. All right. And let's create the automation to actually disarm. Accessory state, arm away, power state changes to off. And we want to find our security system, turn off, save. And now we have our away security system. And in the same vein, let's create our nighttime security automations. So these are actually a little bit more in depth, because what I want to happen is when I open my bedroom door at night, I want the security system to go to home so nothing sets it off, and I want lights to turn on. And then when I close the bedroom door and the security system is armed for home, I want everything to go back to night mode. So let me show you what I mean. So add event, accessory state, bedroom door. Nope, that's the battery of the bedroom door. Bedroom door, contact sensor changes to no contact. And this is where the Home Plus app comes in handy. Under the condition, accessory state, Aqara M1S, current security system state is equal to night. I want the M1S to go to home, simply so I can trigger the follow-up automation. And let's set our bright scene in the living room again. Save. Night door open. Save. And then let's create the opposite. Add event, accessory state, bedroom door, changes to contact detected, add condition, time of day. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Add condition, accessory state, and it's always easier just to search. Current is equal to home. Set that. Actually, what I want to do here is I don't want to set that specific device. I want to go ahead and set a scene that triggers that device, and that is my night scene. So my night scene is going to shut everything down. It's also going to set the Aqara M1S to night. And save. Save. Door closes, night, arm, night. Save. And then how do I bypass that for the morning? That's easy. I'm gonna go create a new automation, accessory state. We're gonna do the same thing. Bedroom door, contact sensor, changes to no contact. And the condition accessory state is current equal to night. And the differentiator here from the other one is I also want time of day is between, we're gonna say 4:30 a.m. and we could have left it at sunset, but we'll just say 8 p.m. So now anytime after 4:30 a.m. that door opens is equal to night. I'm gonna say, there it is, turn this off completely. And again, we're gonna turn the lights on. Right, that's it. And we are back where we like to be. So hey, thank you so much for checking this video out. If building home automations or smart products is something that you're into, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm releasing new videos every week, and I plan to do a lot more home automation videos like this one, where we're just kind of walking through some automations. So hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.